The morning at the peaceful farm was quiet, bathed in soft sunlight that spread over the rows of green vegetables and the chicken coop buzzing with clucking sounds. Lytutien was collecting eggs by herself, carefully placing each one into a straw-lined bamboo basket. Jack wasn't there that day. He had returned to the city to take care of some business matters. Left alone with her father, Lytutien continued her daily routine, tending to everything with the same care and diligence as always. Her father, Mr. Lamb, was stacking baskets of fresh vegetables and preparing sweet potatoes to be boiled for breakfast. He had been living with her for a while now, ever since they reunited and confirmed their long-lost father-daughter relationship. Despite the years apart, their bond came naturally. Lytutien would never forget the moment he hugged her tightly, overwhelmed, as if he couldn't believe he had a second chance at being her father. Since then, he had stayed at the farm with her, helping with gardening, raising chickens, and living a simple life together. After gathering the eggs, Lytutien brought the basket into the kitchen. The aroma of boiling sweet potatoes filled the air. She washed her hands and carefully placed the eggs aside, getting ready for the morning market. "Dad, the sweet potatoes are almost done. You should eat now while I go to the market," she said, wiping sweat from her forehead. Mr. Lamb smiled warmly, his eyes full of fatherly affection. "Okay. Go early and come back safe. Be careful out there." She nodded, tucked her wallet into her bike basket, and headed for the gate. But just after she left, the farm's peaceful atmosphere was suddenly disturbed. Two rough-looking men, dressed in dark clothing and wearing sunglasses, appeared at the front gate. Without waiting for an invitation, they pushed it open and walked straight toward Mr. Lamb. One of them tilted his chin up. "Mr. Lamb, it's time. Vice Director Thiet wants you to finish the job sooner than planned. Don't make us remind you again." Mr. Lamb's face went pale. He stood frozen for a moment, then shook his head. "I can't do this anymore. She's my daughter. I won't keep lying to her." The other man sneered, his voice cold. "Don't forget who got you out of prison. You think you can just live peacefully with your daughter now? If you want to keep everything you have, you better finish your part. Find out Jack's secrets. Mr. Thiet needs the info to get him out of the company." Mr. Lamb clenched his fists, pain flashing in his eyes. "I've already regretted everything. I just want to live an honest life now." Just then, the sound of a motorbike echoed from the distance. Lytutien was coming back. She had forgotten her wallet. As she passed through the gate, she spotted the two strangers walking away. She stopped in her tracks, eyeing them suspiciously. They glanced at her but said nothing. Once they were gone, Lytutien rushed into the yard. "Dad, who were those guys?" she asked, worried. Mr. Lamb turned away, avoiding her gaze. "They just asked for directions. It's nothing, honey." Lytutien clenched her fists. She could tell he was hiding something. Something was off. Her instincts screamed it. She grabbed her wallet, got back on the bike, and headed off. But just a few hundred feet down the road, she pulled over and dialed Jack's number. "Jack, something happened. Two strange men came to the farm this morning. They weren't buyers or locals. They looked dangerous, and my dad, he looked scared. I have a bad feeling they're connected to you. After there was a brief silence on the line before Jack couldn't stay still. His voice calm, he clearly sensed that something was wrong. Stay calm. And what Lytutien told him about the two strange men only reinforced his growing concern. This is more serious than we thought. Jack immediately contacted an old friend and don't stray too far and internal investigation expert to help dig into Mr. Lamb's past and his potential connection to Deputy Director Something was deeply wrong. Within just a few days, that could destroy everything they began to unfold. Mr. Lamb's real name wasn't Lamb. In old reform camp records, Jack found that his name was Tran Van Ton, who had once been sentenced to 8 years in prison for fraudulent appropriation of property and aiding misconduct within a state-owned enterprise. Interestingly, in the court files, the name Lytutay Van Hou, Deputy Director Lytutay, kept appearing as a key witness, someone who had contributed to a lighter sentence by testifying in Tonna's favor. Jack frowned as he read that. If Lytutay had helped reduce Tonna's sentence, why was he now sending men to intimidate him? And why did Mr. Lamb appear exactly when Jack and Lytutien had started drawing attention within the company? Digging deeper, Jack tracked down a man named Kwong, a retired economic security officer who had been involved in the investigation of Mr. Lamb's case years ago. They met in a quiet alley cafe. "You're asking about Tran Van Ton?" Mr. Kwong sipped his tea, his voice growing heavier. Back then, he was just a pawn, a scapegoat. All the real leads pointed to Lytutay Van Hou. But for some reason, Lytutay walked free and quickly climbed the corporate ladder after that case. Ton got arrested, stayed silent, and took all the blame. Jack listened in silence, taking mental notes. There was definitely some sort of secret deal between the two, Kwong continued. I don't know the exact details, but after serving his sentence, Ton didn't disappear like the others. He received a small monthly stipend in exchange for total silence. But strangely, in recent years, he started approaching people connected to Lytutay's company. And now, he's standing next to you and your girlfriend. A chill spread across Jack's face. The final puzzle pieces were starting to take shape, though the full picture was still hazy. Did Mr. Lamb or Ton truly come back into Lytutien's life out of fatherly love? Or was this another strategic move by Lytutay to infiltrate Jack's world and keep tabs on him? While Jack returned to his hotel, a message from his cybersecurity friend popped up on his phone. New finding. Mr. Lamb's bank account has been receiving regular wire transfers from a shell company. This company is under the name of Lytutay's personal assistant. At this point, Jack was certain Lytutay was still using Mr. Lamb as a pawn. Mr. Lamb might genuinely be Lytutien's biological father, but hiding his financial links and shady past made him impossible to fully trust. On one hand, Jack felt sympathy for Lytutien, who had placed all her faith and love in this man, seeing him as her long-lost anchor after years of pain. On the other hand, he knew that revealing the truth now could devastate her. After several sleepless nights, Jack made a decision. Stay silent. He said nothing to Lytutien. He kept up the facade, called her each night, gently asked about her day, reminded her to eat well and rest. He tucked away every investigation result, waiting for the right moment to dig deeper. Quietly, Jack began planning his next move. He sought out former employees connected to Thiet, looked for financial evidence linking Thiet to the shell companies, and even hired someone to tail Thiet's assistant. Slowly, suspicions crept in that Mr. Lamb, despite his calm, kind exterior, was hiding one final truth. One night, after ending a phone call with LY TIEN, Jack stared out the city window. He whispered to himself, "I'm sorry, LY TIEN. I can't tell you yet. Not because I doubt you, but because I need to protect you from something even worse." But could Jack keep the secret forever? Or would the truth eventually reveal itself when everything spun out of control? The answer still lurked somewhere, hidden in the shadows of unspoken schemes.